Today we witness a heartwarming story of Monkey BuBu, the playful yet caring big brother. When his little sibling falls sick, BuBu steps up in the most unexpected way. But, is he really a good brother, or just pretending? Let's find out. The little monkey lies weakly on the soft bedding, his tiny body lacking the usual energy. His eyes, which are usually bright and playful, now appear dull and tired. He barely moves, only shifting slightly to find a more comfortable position. His breathing is slow and shallow, and he seems too exhausted to even react to the sounds around him. From a short distance away, BuBu watches with a curious expression. His head tilts slightly as he observes the baby, noticing that something isn't right. Usually, the baby would be bouncing around, chasing after him or clinging to his back. But today there is no movement, no playful excitement, just silence. BuBu inches a little closer, his eyes filled with curiosity. He isn't sure whether he should step in or just watch. He hesitates, unsure if he should act like a caring brother or if this is an opportunity for some mischief. BuBu slowly reaches out his tiny hand and gently touches the baby monkey's head, his fingers brushing over the soft fur. His expression seems almost tender, as if he is genuinely concerned. He tilts his head, watching closely to see if the baby will react. The little monkey stirs slightly, but remains weak, barely able to open his eyes. BuBu continues to pat his head, his touch surprisingly gentle for a monkey known for his playful mischief. However, behind his seemingly caring gestures, BuBu's eyes dart around, as if he is thinking about something else. Is he truly worried, or does he have another plan? A slight smirk appears on his face. Maybe he's trying to see if the baby is too weak to stop him from taking his blanket, or maybe even his food. His concern might just be an act before he takes advantage of the situation in his own mischievous way. BuBu glances around, making sure no one is watching, before slyly reaching for the baby monkey's soft, warm blanket. With a quick tug, he pulls it away, leaving the little monkey exposed. The baby stirs slightly, his tiny hands moving weakly as if trying to hold onto the blanket, but he's too tired to resist. His big, round eyes blink in confusion, struggling to understand what just happened. Meanwhile, BuBu wastes no time. He wraps himself snugly in the stolen blanket, enjoying the warmth and comfort. He wiggles happily, adjusting it around his small body as if he were royalty. A satisfied grin spreads across his face as he snuggles in deeper, completely ignoring the baby's feeble attempt to reclaim his comfort. The baby monkey watches helplessly, his confused expression almost pleading. But BuBu, pretending not to notice, simply enjoys his new cozy prize, showing no guilt at all. As the caretaker arrives with a small plate of fresh fruit, the sick baby monkey lifts his head slightly, his tired eyes showing a faint spark of interest. He hasn't eaten much due to his weakness, and the sweet smell of ripe bananas and juicy mango slices seems to give him a bit of hope. But before the baby can even reach for a piece, BuBu swoops in with lightning speed. He grabs a handful of fruit, stuffing a piece into his mouth as if he's simply checking to make sure it's good. His eyes dart around innocently, as if he's performing an important duty rather than being greedy. The baby monkey weakly stretches out his tiny hand, hoping for a bite, but BuBu casually takes another piece, chewing loudly with satisfaction. He holds a fruit slice up, pretending he might share, but at the last second he pops it into his own mouth, grinning mischievously. BuBu, full of energy as always, isn't used to seeing the baby so still and quiet. To him it's strange, and maybe even a little boring. So, in his usual mischievous way, he decides to help by encouraging the baby to play. He tugs at the baby's arm, gently at first, as if inviting him to move, but the baby, still weak and exhausted, barely reacts, only letting out a soft whimper. Not one to give up easily, BuBu tries again. This time, he pokes the baby's belly, then playfully tugs at his tail. When that doesn't work, he claps his hands and jumps excitedly, hoping the baby will join in. But instead of getting up, the little monkey curls up, trying to rest. Seeing no response, BuBu playfully pounces on him. Just a little too rough. The baby lets out a tiny squeak, struggling to push him away, but BuBu still insists, refusing to take no for an answer. As the baby monkey remains weak and unresponsive, the human caretaker steps in with a small bottle of medicine. She gently lifts the baby into her arms, speaking to him in a soothing voice. The little monkey barely reacts, his tiny body limp against her hands. Carefully, she tilts his head back and uses a small dropper to give him the medicine. BuBu, who had been busy with his playful antics, suddenly stops and watches with wide eyes. His head tilts in curiosity as he observes the caretaker's actions. What is she doing? Is it food? Is it something special just for the baby? He creeps a little closer, trying to get a better look. When the baby monkey smacks his lips and swallows, BuBu's curiosity grows even stronger. He inches forward, reaching out his tiny hand as if he wants a taste too. Maybe whatever the baby is getting is something he should have as well. As the caretaker cradles the weak baby monkey in her arms, she gently strokes his fur and whispers soothing words. The baby, still tired but comforted, nestles against her warmth. The caretaker carefully wipes his face and rubs his back, trying to help him relax. BuBu watches all of this with growing jealousy. His usual playful energy fades as he realizes that the baby is getting all the attention. His eyes narrow slightly, and his little brain starts working on a plan. If the baby gets cuddles and special care when he's sick, maybe BuBu should be sick too. Without hesitation, BuBu suddenly flops onto the ground, sprawled out dramatically. He closes his eyes, letting out a small whimper, as if he's weak. Then, he peeks out of one eye to see if the caretaker is looking. When she doesn't react right away, he even coughs, an exaggerated fake little cough, to make sure she notices his illness. BuBu, after all his playful antics and mischief, finally seems to realize that his little brother isn't just being lazy, he's truly unwell. The baby monkey lies there, barely moving, his tiny body weak. For a moment, BuBu pauses, his usual mischievous grin fading into something softer. In an unexpected act of care, BuBu scoots closer and gently starts grooming the baby's fur. He picks through it carefully, using his tiny fingers to remove specks of dust, just like an older brother would. The baby stirs slightly, but doesn't resist, comforted by the familiar, soothing sensation. Then, in a rare moment of generosity, BuBu grabs a small piece of fruit, one he had taken earlier, and holds it out. At first he hesitates, as if debating whether to eat it himself, but then he nudges it toward the baby, encouraging him to take a bite, a quiet but meaningful way of making up for his earlier tricks. After receiving medicine, warmth, and care from the caretaker, the baby monkey finally starts showing signs of improvement. His tiny body, once weak and motionless, now has a little more energy. He sits up slowly, blinking his bright eyes as if waking from a deep sleep. With a small stretch, he lets out a tiny squeak and looks around, his strength slowly returning. BuBu watches this transformation with mixed emotions. On one hand, he's happy. His little brother is finally able to move and play again. But on the other hand, his excuse for extra attention is gone. No more pretending to be sick, no more stealing extra cuddles. He pouts slightly, crossing his arms as if disappointed. Just to test things, he flops onto the ground again, letting out another fake cough, but this time the caretaker just laughs and shakes her head, knowing his tricks too well. BuBu's plan has officially failed. Just as everything seems peaceful, with the baby monkey finally feeling better and sitting up, BuBu's mischievous side returns. He spots the baby's favorite toy, a small, colorful plushie lying nearby. His eyes light up with playful mischief. Without hesitation, he snatches the toy and dashes away, holding it tightly in his tiny hands. The baby monkey, still a bit wobbly but much stronger than before, immediately notices. His eyes widen, and for the first time in days he lets out an energetic squeak of protest. He may have been weak before, but now he's determined. And so the chase begins. The baby stumbles at first, but quickly gains speed, hopping after BuBu, who is laughing and jumping around. They race across the play area, dodging obstacles and leaping over small branches. The video ends with the baby finally catching up, grabbing BuBu's tail as the screen fades out with playful music and laughter.